Hello everyone and welcome to the YouTube channel of Being ACCA. This is Tushita Gupta, ACCA affiliate, and in this video we are beginning with this topic in PM, that is limiting factors. So basically I'm going to divide this chapter, or what you say, a topic in the PM exam, into small videos of bite size, so that you're able to watch one video, grasp what is being taught in that video, and then move on to the further concepts. So it's going to be very short. I'll try to make it as short, as crisp, and as easily understandable as possible, so that you're able to grasp the concepts quickly. So now, talking about what happens when there is you are running a factory, you are producing something, you are working for the production of something, and what if you have some limiting factors? What do we mean by limiting factors? So limiting factors basically means that there is some, you are here to make unlimited profit, but there is something that is stopping you from making that unlimited profit. So we are having a look at what can potentially be the factors that can stop us from having unlimited profits. So basically, limiting factors, if this is a sort of an introduction to this topic, so there can be three things that can basically limit your production, limit the way you make profits. So there can be three possible scenarios. So the first scenario that I have is if you have a limited demand. So what happens if your demand is limited? Let's suppose you are selling pizzas. So, you're making a very good profit. You are sourcing your materials at a very cheap rate, and, you are selling them at a very high price. You're making a lot of money by selling pizzas. But there is a limit to how many number of pizzas that you can sell in the market. The number of pizzas that people are going to like buy in the market is fixed, right? So this is how limited demand comes into the picture, that the number of pizzas that you can sell, the number of demand for the pizzas that there is going to be in the market is limited. So this is the first factor that can limit your profits, which can be a limiting factor in your production. Now, talking about another thing, what another thing can limit you, that is limited resources. So let's suppose my apologies, resources. So let's suppose you are producing something of which, maybe raw materials are scarce. Let's suppose you are doing something with energy. So you need coal. So coal, probably you only get a fixed amount of coal every day. So this is how your materials are limited. It can be anything. I'm just giving examples to make you understand that what potentially could be the reasons that your production can be limited. So limited resources, again, resources when we talk about are of two types. First, it can be your material resources. The second thing that you need for your production is your labor. So labor is also a resource which can be limited. So perhaps, there's a labor strike, and on some day you are not able to produce as much units as you want because the labor is limited. So maybe the labor is on strike, maybe the labor has gotten sick, anything can happen, right? So this is how limiting, this decision making approach will help you find out that what is the optimal production plan, how much you have to produce so that you can earn the maximum profits given what is there in your situation, given that you have limited material, given that you have limited labor available with you at the moment. Then the third thing which can possibly hamper your which can possibly limit your profit is limited finance. So limited finance. So that means the capital that you have is limited. Let's suppose, I am not a very rich person. I have a limited amount of money with me that I can invest in my business. Let's suppose I have just $10,000. So those $10,000 is something that I will have to, this is my limit. I cannot spend more than this. Otherwise, I'll have to borrow, and I don't like borrowing. So this is like capital rationing. This means I have a fixed amount of money. and this amount of money has to be very wisely utilized. Otherwise, I will run out of money, and eventually I will not be able to do any sort of business, because doing any sort of business requires some amount of capital. So these are the three possible resources which can be limited, due to which, these limitedness of these three things can be a cause of limiting your profit. So this was it about the introduction of this topic to you. In the next videos, we'll see that, if we have one limiting factor, if we have two limiting factors, maybe just the demand is limited, rest two factors are unlimited. So we will deal with the problem in a different manner. Let's suppose we have two limiting factors, two things that are stopping us, then we'll have to adopt a different methodology to deal with our problem. So basically, this is how, the resources can be limited, and this is how they can impact your production and your profits ultimately. So this is what we will be learning, and thank you so much for watching. I hope that this helped. In the coming videos, we will be covering this topic further.